Hey guys, this is 681 Shadow, your commissioner of the CPC, and today we have another coach interview, and today we are interviewing our off-season 3 runner-up, A12 QSD. Say hello.
Hey, what's up?
Alright, so we just have a few questions to ask you, sort of get a feel of how you are as a coach, things like that.
Okay.
So, to start off with question 1. Um, how do you feel about your performance in the off-season?
I feel like I could have done better. Even though I did make the finals, I made one big mistake in that game, which I wound up regretting later, which was not pressing trick with Arbuck on the Skarmory. But overall, I think I had a pretty good off season.
Yeah, definitely. You had a very interesting team in the off-season.
Yeah,
Especially to a lot of us that haven't seen drafts like that before.
I'm personally a fan. I mean, anything that's bizarre, I absolutely love using it. Especially since the surprise factor is nice.
Yeah, definitely. And you made a very good spotlight of certain threats that you don't see very often, such as the Diggersby, and you brought coughing to light in the off season.
Yeah, I mean the coughing's always been underrated. It's basically better valued wheezing.
Definitely. So, on to the second question. How did you get into competitive Pokemon and draft leagues? Like, what really introduced you to the competitive area?
Right. Well, I've always been a big fantasy sports fan. I played a lot of fantasy football and stuff, and I was just scrolling through my YouTube feed, and I saw the GBA, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds interesting." And eventually, from there, always wanted to get a group of people to decide to join a draft league, and eventually, I did do that, and I've absolutely loved it ever since.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. That's actually how I started off because, and not only how I started off, but also how the CPC started off because like it wasn't that we saw the GBA, it's more that we saw the UCL and we were like, that sounds pretty cool. You want to get a bunch of friends to try to do that, and then we just got 8 people. We did season 1, and it evolved from there. It was
And
like we actually went from the bottom up.
it's become an amazing league.
Definitely, it's like really blown away my expectations because we would have never thought it would become what it is now. Back when we had an 8 person league where we all knew each other in real life.
That's true.
Yeah, we never expected this to happen, and I'm really proud of everything that's happened. And
Hopefully it'll
yeah,
continue this season.
definitely, yeah. All right, so question 3. How much Pokemon Draft League experience do you have? Like, have you been in any notable leagues, or have you just been playing for a long time? Like, how much experience do you have in the draft format?
I've been a member of a league called the NBA. It's not very well known, but it has a couple of really good players in it. There's actually a couple of players in the main league in the CPC that from the NBA, like Rob. And I played in that for about 2 years, and I, yeah, it's been a that's pretty much my experience.
So really, like the first like semi big league that you've been in is the CPC. Is that correct?
Yeah, CPC is definitely by far the biggest league I've been in.
So on to question 4. What are your opinions regarding the Generation 7 meta as we've gone through a bunch of changes between Gen 6 and Gen 7?
I think overall it's definitely a positive change. There's been introduction of a bunch of new Pokemon which are very interesting, but I think we're still in like the phase of the meta where certain things are legal which really shouldn't be. Like for example, Tapu Lele in my opinion is completely busted, but besides that, overall I do like the change. There's been a lot of new positive gains to it.
Yeah, definitely. There's been new concepts in, for example, Z moves. Like you have a lot of like the OU terrain, the OU meta being around like the psychic terrain by Tapu Lele and like electric terrain by Coco, then
Very true.
misty terrain, grassy terrain. I've like being able to build a team around like not just building it around a Pokemon, but building it around like a certain like terrain or like something like some other like Z move or something, There's a lot more that you can do with your builds now, as you have a bunch of these new concepts that are coming in.
That's very true. I mean, Pokemon that were like frail in the past are now absolutely amazing because of mystery terrain. Like you can't use priority moves against them. Part of why I think Charmosta was so good.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and and like the OU meta really changed at the beginning of this of the gen because of the Talonflame nerf. What do you think of that?
I am very happy with the Talonflame nerf. I remember in Horus, even though Talonflame stalls were relatively easy to break as long as you had the right tools, they were just very painful to play against because usually when you played them, it resulted in a very long game.
Yeah, definitely. It was really interesting for the nerf to happen. I feel like it's been pretty positive um as now you don't really you could see a bit more creativity because I felt like because I don't ladder so much, but personally I felt like that a good amount of the meta in OU in Generation 6 was around Talonflame.
That's very true. I think overall, I think Talonflame probably would have reduced in usage anyways due to the power creep of this generation. Like things like Tapu Koko and Tapu Lele being introduced, I think kind of nerfed it a lot also.
Yeah, definitely. Those things that even if without the Gale Wings nerf, it would have the Talonflame would definitely have been like would have lost usage because of all those threats that came out. So,
True. Like Rip Clefable.
oh yeah.
Is
So,
Clefable like UU now or something?
I actually don't know. I haven't really laddered in Gen 7, so I can't really give an answer on that. All right, so now for question 5, going into season 4 of CPC majors, how confident are you for the season?
I would say I'm pretty confident. I'm actually kind of excited because I saw divisions and I saw I was with a couple of people who I've actually played in the past and they're all very good players, but I know their general play styles, they know mine, but I think I would be able to get the upper edge against them.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of agree with that as from what I've seen from you in the off season, you're able to have a surprise factor with no matter what you have, like um no matter what you because of the way you draft and the type of mons that you like to use, you don't really know what you're gonna bring. So it's kind of hard to predict you.
Yeah, that always is a nice advantage.
Yeah, definitely. It's always it's always a nice advantage when you bring coughing to counter a buzzwole.
True. Well, I mean, I unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to have coughing as a surprise factor again, but
Yeah,
there are more tools that do exist.
yeah. There's definitely a lot of lower tier mons that I could see you abusing in the season. Okay, so next question. In your opinion, because now you've seen the roster from this is being recorded, from when this is being recorded, all of the majors coaches are in the Discord now. Who do you think is the most skilled coach in this season?
That is a very tough question. There are a lot of very, very talented coaches in this league. Um, from my experience, I would probably have to say Rob, just because I've been in a league with him for I think it's been like a year and a half now, and I know that he can be a very, very good player when he's on a hot streak. But he does sometimes have cold streaks. But I'm hoping that this season he's on fire, and if he is, I think he has a very good chance at winning the championship.
It definitely Rob's a very solid player, and the thing you're talking about with him having like hot streaks and cold streaks, we saw that in the offseason because he like did really well in his phase 1 division, but when it went to phase 2, he sort of just fell off. So I feel like if he's on a good streak, he can do very well.
That's true.
All
He
right,
just has
so
to, oh, sorry.
I know you can go on. You can go on.
Oh, he just has to not let the losses get to him. SBI
Yeah,
knows.
yeah, definitely. Because like if the losses get to you, then you're gonna lose motivation. And that's never a good thing because that's not gonna help you try to do better.
Yeah, I think that's what happened to him in phase 2 of this off season.
Yeah. So going on to question 7, what made you decide to join the CPC? Like, what factors led to you eventually filling out the application for the off season and then wanting to join the league?
Well, I actually heard about it from Bird, and he mentioned how it was a phenomenal league, and he told me more about it. I thought it seemed very interesting. So I decided to apply from off season based off that, and from there, I absolutely loved off season. It seemed like a great community, so I decided to stick with it.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, me being there for all of the seasons, we've typically had a good community, and I feel like the way that we started from like all friends that that know each other in real life to eventually branching off um into more and more of the draft community, I feel like that our community had a steady evolution so that it wouldn't go so much out of control. So I feel like that's really helped us.
Yeah,
Yeah, so to go on to the final question, for the people that are viewing these interviews, that are following the CPC, how can the viewers get a hold of you? Like your YouTube, Twitter, or etc.
yeah. I have a YouTube account. It's called A12 QSD. I post videos there every once in a while. I'll be uploading all of my majors matches on that channel. I have an email account, a12qsd@gmail.com if you want to email me there. And yeah,
All right, so I will have both of those links in the description, so you guys can, well, just one link because you can't really link an email, but but
yeah,
I will have his YouTube down in the description below. Definitely go check out A12. He's a phenomenal battler, and if you're just getting into the draft league, you'll definitely learn a lot from not only him but all of the coaches. So that's going to be all for this coach interview. Thank you all for watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and we will see you all next time.